to talk about Chapter 37 in the Kimmel Anthology about fraternities being a breeding ground for rape culture. And Sanday, the author of the article, defines rape as a conscious process of intimidation by which all men keep all women in a state of fear. And she kind of discusses how they do that by creating this society within fraternities that have a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, and a lot of pressure, I guess, within the fraternities. And Sanday goes on to describe how insecure young men bond through homophobia and are objectifying women through bonding that leads to display their masculinity. She also goes on to interview different frat brothers in which they discuss how they get women drunk in order to essentially sleep with them without consent, and it fosters like a breeding ground for more of the frat brothers to do the same, as they want to watch them and might not be engaging in the act, but you're still part of the continuation of rape culture. So one of the reasons why I guess women are put into these roles and considered objects of this horrific acts are because they're associated with this environment insecurity, and they become rape prone. Maybe their first years they don't know exactly what they're getting themselves into, which doesn't make it right at all, but it's because of the culture that's created in fraternities that kind of foster this like image of it being cool and something that is considered a must-do in university, and it leads to so many people. You see so many people in society that are from senators to CEOs of major companies being involved in fraternities, and we don't know exactly if they were involved in these acts or if they were just bystanders that were part of the fraternities that may have watched these acts happen.
Sunday article, it's important to consider how her point about fraternities being breeding grounds for rape culture expands into our social and political atmosphere. If we consider what she says, that fraternities are indeed, or at least a considerable amount of them, do perpetuate rape culture, we have to consider how many people are exposed to this. When it comes down to it, we can see that many of, especially in the United States, politicians, media moguls, people that can influence social and political spheres are influenced by fraternities. If we accept that these people did at least condone, and at the very worst participate in these rape culture activities, it provides, honestly, a very scary picture of how these people might have impacted our lives in terms of litigation, what to pass through, and social aspects. The point of how fraternities have impacted us, we've compiled a list of men as part of fraternities, and that list includes, amazingly enough, 82 senators, 39 judges, 63 governors to this day, the senior VP of Paramount Pictures, the president of Disney, multiple U.S. Attorney Generals, 2 chiefs of staff in the White House, 2 chairmen of the Joint Chiefs, and others. In terms of litigation, we have 40 out of 47 Supreme Court judges appointed since 1910, and over 76% of congressmen. These are the men who are responsible for shaping our social and political culture, and as we can see, they have a very, very wide-scoping influence, and it's possible that they were influenced by this rape culture and by these fraternities. One of the bigger names that I neglected to mention before, but we'll mention now because it applies to Jocelyn's section, is Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO and founder of Facebook, and Jocelyn will take you through a very recent issue with the open letter to Facebook.
Right, so I wanted to talk about Mark Zuckerberg because he is the CEO of Facebook, which is the largest social networking platform that really everyone's using today, but a lot of young people, a lot of people that are university aged, that's how it originally began. So I wanted to discuss the open letter to Facebook that was targeting what was termed as the Facebook rape, The letter was signed by over 70 organizations, mostly women's rights organizations and advocacy groups, to call for moderators and Mark Zuckerberg to remove gender discrimination as well as any type of rape culture that was posted on Facebook. This included status updates and photos and memes and videos, and the list goes on and on. They wanted to classify rape culture and gender discrimination in the same categories as anti-Semitic posts, as well as homophobic posts, racist posts. Those are all removed daily by the Facebook moderators. The people that sent the open letter to Facebook used the hashtag FBRape on Twitter to gain precedence and attention to the issue that was going on. And it really fostered a lot of attention. It really gained a lot of media coverage, and news articles were written about it, and people really started to hear about it. It got Mark Zuckerberg's attention, and he decided to, make this an issue that he wanted to take on. And I think that it's important to link the issue of rape culture on a social media platform that's used every day, as well as rape culture that's promoted on university campuses, in fraternities, and in groups where people are highly socialized and are trying to be a part of, what people are trying to be a part of every day. The link there, I think, is really, really important, and is something we need to deconstruct, for sure.
So, basically, we discussed how fraternities breed a culture of rape. As bad as that sounds, it kind of goes to show you that even if there's people that aren't actually doing it, they're still bystanders toward it. It's still part of the culture within the university frats, and you don't know if people could potentially be leaders of the free world. You don't know if they're going to be people that influence you in everyday life, Supreme Court judges or CEO of Facebook. The fact that these things are happening within frats across universities in North America and likely the world, wherever there are frats, just makes you want to think twice about how masculinity is constructed in these frats across universities.